Hi everyone. We've owned this 2015 Jayco Melbourne motorhome, model 29D, since it was new. We bought it in, almost exactly 8 years ago in May of 2015. It was delivered to us. During all of that time, and we've put plenty of miles and lots of camping trips and travel trips on this machine, we have had an issue with the shower. The shower would drain, but unless you had the gray water plug pulled, it would gurgle up, sometimes worse than others, into the sinks. So you'd get this rhythmic gurgling sound, and then it would actually spew up sometimes really badly in this kitchen sink, or usually in the vanity sink was worse. And it would drain just fine, but you could tell that it was getting vapor locked. If you opened up the gray water, you were hooked up to sewer, and you opened up the gray water valve, it would work just fine. So I finally decided to get serious, and I plugged it into the internet and found a couple of people had something similar. They didn't seem to come up with any real ideas, although one fellow mentioned he had something similar to what this has. So that got me to thinking, and I crawled under it and eventually fixed it as well as I could anyway. So I'm going to show you that, and I'll try to be brief. I'm not good at editing, so we're just going to do it all on the fly on one run here. So in this Melbourne, and it could be in any camper at all that you have this type of an issue. Under here, so this is an access point that they made to get into this trap. And let me turn on the light there. Okay. So this trap is under here. It drains over to a sanitary tee right here. This is the sanitary tee. That's the vent. Top of this sanitary tee goes up to the vent. The vent goes through up here all the way to the roof. And this goes below the floor and heads over to the gray water tank, which is right over this direction. It's probably about a run of about this much, about where this battery's sitting. Right in there is where the gray water tank is, right in there. And it enters the top of the gray water tank. So I get under there to take a look. So to orient you, it's where this box is. Excuse me. This is the outdoor. Here's your entrance door. You get right in here, and you look up. There's where it comes through. You can see the repair I did. So it's very tight up under here. But I was able to get a level on this line. Here's the line right here. And it runs right over here. You can see it right there. Coming over here, and it goes into the top of this tank. This is the gray water tank right here. And that's actually my first view of what that looks like. And so that's about a 28-inch run. Well, I put my level on it, my little torpedo level, and it was out of level going uphill 5/16 of an inch on a 9-inch level. I would have to raise this point an inch, more than an inch, just to reach level. And yes, I have the machine the RV leveled right now. So there was actually enough room. It was a bear. Trust me, it was a bear. There was enough room that I could cut below that sanitary tee up there and add in these parts that I have here. This is a Street L, and I have two Fernco fittings, one here and one on the top one, as I was able to raise it up. It still wasn't quite enough, and I tried to make it, pull it up a little higher with this piece of hanger iron, which really didn't work worth a darn. As you can tell, this is metal, and I was having trouble getting any kind of a screw to take into it, and I was having a pretty hard day that day, because this is rough work getting up under here doing this. But anyway, that's going to take care of it, and did take care of it. So again, up here, I was able to get in here. Now I had to take that Sawzall and saw some of this stuff back here. The plate material that they use, which is just plywood. Everything is small size down in campers, right? But that's the plate material. I had to cut it back. Had to do some other slicing there just to be able to get in there enough to slice off this pipe going down through here. Another thing that makes it a little tougher is I'm sorry, for the venting, makes the venting even worse, is the fact that this is all 1.5 inches. In a shower in a home, this is 2 inch. And honestly, I think they probably could have used 2 inch, but you're also not supposed to run them uphill. So what's happening is water is getting trapped in that little 28 inches of pipe. And when it tries to vent, because as the shower drains, or anything drains into that closed system of a gray water tank, it effectively pressurizes that tank, and air has to get out. So the way it does that is through that line. It's the only way for air to get out, unless you open up the gray water valve. Then it can actually escape that way. So that's why it worked fine that way. The other way it can do it is it can force itself up through these sinks, which of course it did. It would literally, in that other sink in there, it would blow this high. Just, one shot up like that and kind of spew water. And it would usually do that just once during one shower or something. But anyway, that's what's happening. And whether you can do that or not on your own, you probably can. If it's too much for you to do, you can at least maybe guide somebody to that this is what needs to be done. Because I couldn't find out there really anybody who came up with a solution for this. So, and that's the whole point of my videos. You're not going to see very many of my videos on the internet, but that's the reason I've come up with some of these, and I'm going to be putting them on there, because if I don't find a solution for it out there already, I'm going to put it on the net and hopefully help somebody else, because it's just a weird thing. That's all I can say. It's probably, not the greatest construction is all I can say. Obviously, you're not supposed to run plumbing uphill, or at least drain lines anyhow. All right. Good luck, and try not to bang your knuckles too much.